Kevin Smith says, thank God he's not in charge, or he would have He-Man on Netflix right now. Hello, this is Heretic Prince, and I'm just bringing any news I can find about the He-Man sequel series coming out. It'll soon be coming to Netflix. Unfortunately, we don't have a time for that yet. However, We Got This Covered released a article that had a bit more news than the last thing I covered, so I wanted to read this and bring it to you folks, see what you think. Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe Revelation is intended to kick off a new era for He-Man, Skeletor, and all their pals. The show is being developed by Netflix by Smith, and he's assembled an impressive cast. Chris Wood and Mark Hamill, who's coming out of voice acting retirement, are playing He-Man. I almost said He-Mel. He-Man and Skeletor, with support from Alicia Silverstone, Kevin Michael Richardson, Sarah Michelle Gellar of Buffy fame, Kevin Conroy, Batman, Henry Rollins, who I'm a fan of. The guy, he's a go-getter. Tony Todd, Phil Lamar, who's a giant in voice acting, and Jason Mewes. Now, another thing that was mentioned here is Mark Hamill coming out of voice acting retirement. I didn't know he had retired. I feel like the Chucky movie came out not too long ago, but then again, I'm kind of an old man. I lose track of time quite easily. I remember Mark Hamill not coming back for Batman Arkham Origins, and I thought that was due to a retirement, but he came back from that pretty quick, and he did Arkham Knight. And also, by the way, Mark Hamill as Skeletor, just beautiful. I can't wait to hear it. This section here is what we already know. Masters of the Universe Revelation is not a reboot. It's literally a sequel to what we saw in the 80s as children. Smith had said that he's seen the animation and it's blowing him away. Smith said, "When I took the job, I was like, man, I hope we do it justice. I've seen 5 animations now. Powerhouse Animation is in control of that. By the way, Powerhouse did Castlevania. If you've not watched Castlevania on Netflix, please do so. It's beautiful. It's phenomenal. I've watched the animations over and over again. I get blazed and just sit there and watch them." Never change, Kevin. In fact, Smith is so enthusiastic about what he's seeing that he'd release the rough animation if he were allowed to. Quote, "The performances of our cast, and we have an incredible cast that they're giving, and the Powerhouse animation is stunning. If I was in charge, I would release these on Netflix because I bet people would still be like, that's fucking dope. Thank God I'm not in charge, because they're fully animating this thing. I've seen the graphics. I can't give away too much. I've seen a lot. I've seen it in animation form, but I've also seen where we are headed, and it's beautiful." Unquote. I'm sorry. I know they're saying animatics, but I I don't like that word. It just doesn't feel right rolling out my mouth, so I'm saying animation. You know, Kevin Smith seems like he's still a child at heart, and so it really gives me hope for this series that he seems so up for it, that he seems so hyped for it. Smith then went on to discuss what it's like working with both Mattel and Netflix, reserving specific praise for Netflix producer Ted Biaselli. Quote, he said, "All I'm asking you to do is tell a story that makes me feel like I felt when I was a kid again. Make me feel invested in these characters. I want to feel scared for them. I want to feel there are stakes." He said, "Treat this IP like Shakespeare. That was our marching order. Thanks to Ted, we made something beautiful." Well, that's pretty high praise. But that's also very important that there's still the feel of the way it was back in the 80s show. Because if it's not, if they try to change it into something new, If they try to make it modern, those of us who grew up watching the original will be able to feel it. And I feel like a lot of people would reject it. Sure, update the animation. That's all well and good, but the story needs to be there. You can make the story, you can patch up the story, because let's face it, it was an 80s cartoon. It was really corny. Patch it up, make it a little bit more serious. That's fine. Let's just don't do something like Thundercats Roar, okay? Can we avoid that? When can we expect to see Masters of the Universe Revelation? Well, it sounds like the recording sessions are practically complete, and the animations are progressing well. As such, I'm sure we'll see a trailer for this sometime in 2020, with a release hopefully not too far into 2021. From the sounds of it, there are already further sessions in the pipeline too, so I hope Smith gets to tell the whole epic tale he's cooked up. So, yeah, the idea of a trailer in 2020 or a release date in 2021, unfortunately, it's completely speculation here, but I don't think that is an insane timeline. If you go too far out from that, it's like, what are you working for? You're not on a good pace if you start a project and you can't get it into fruition in 1 or 2 years. People's attention spans are not that long. And once again, just to give credit where credit is due, this was written by David James on the website WeGotThisCovered.com. Check out the website. Got some interesting stories there. Also, have you heard anything new about the He-Man show? What's going to happen? Have you heard anything? Well, don't tell us what's going to happen. That's spoiler territory, right? Just any news at all, feel free to post it down in the comments. I'll eat it up. Also, if you'd like to keep track of this stuff along with me, you can always leave a like or subscribe to my channel. That would be great. Sometimes I stream on Twitch by the same name, twitch.tv/hereticprince. I'd love to have you over there. Anyway, thank all of you for listening, and have a great day.